Good. Draw your knees in and roll around on your back. Good. Welcome if you're just joining on YouTube. I just flipped the switch to go around the world. We're simulcasting from the Bay Area of California. We've got local friends on Zoom and YouTubers around the world. My Zoom friends, roll up now. We'll all greet one another. So apparently there's like 130 countries in the world. There used to be like 80 when I was in grade school, but whichever the 130 you're from, welcome. I'd say it in 100 different languages, but I really only know a couple. Anyway, welcome aboard. Wednesday is something I'm really looking forward to. Honestly, I've got a nasty case of laryngitis from being in finals week. I'm stressed out of my mind, so it's going to be almost restorative yoga. I hope you're okay with that. I think Looney Cat should be in a moment, but tonight is very much about the restorative aspect of yin and restorative yoga. If you're brand new, restorative yoga is like a dream come true. But as always, we'll start with 5 or 10 minutes of just getting our body to move. So just start your shoulders. The power in any great activity is starting. So my shoulders are going forward, up, over, around, and down. If you're brand new to yoga, these movements done consistently will change things for you. 7, 8. Now my shoulders can pull back up, over, forward, around, and down. Leave me a comment if you're a YouTuber about if you're in finals right now like I am. Whew! Man, I saw 3 different tutors, 3 different teachers today. 6, 7. Tomorrow the year ends for school. Inhale up. Inhale out. Congratulations if you're continuing your studies. I think we should always be learning something. Like going up our back and behind our neck and saying poof. Great YouTube analytics tonight. Great to see new friends, always checking in. Thanks for liking and subscribing. We're spreading this yoga thing, this yoga for everybody thing around the planet. Poof. Good job. Now, just a baby forward fold tonight. Don't worry if you're not one of those clamshell people that can't come all the way down. Don't worry if you can. Relax your head down. Wednesday is very contemplative, very quiet, very introspective. Sometimes I'll sway a little bit. It just makes me feel like I'm releasing pent-up anxiety, too much thinking, worrying about. You notice how we almost always worry about the future, and yet today is the future of 5 years ago, and everything's okay. Now, from fingertips, long spine, I'm going to inhale, look forward. And today it feels like my elbows are beckoning me down. When I get my elbows down, then I'll sometimes just rest my hands in my forehead. If you can't go this deep, don't worry about it. No comparisons on Wednesday night. Just stop thinking. It's really good for you. Good, we'll hold perfectly still for 20 seconds. Stillness is when the magic happens. Okay, come on up. Okay, now our legs cross the other way. I'm sitting up on a blanket I have for many years now. It releases my hips. It softens the pressure a little bit. Now, with my hands on my knees, I'm just going to bring my left shoulder down to my right knee, right shoulder, left knee. And again, these are just smooth, rhythmic, animal kind of movements. If we humans were more feral, these are the kind of movements we do when we wake up in the morning. So our body, we could go out and catch an animal or something. 6. Instead, we get in our cars and drive to Safeway, and so our bodies get very stiff. Good. Now, right shoulder, left knee, left shoulder, right knee. It was quite a development in civilization where we didn't have to go out and capture our food. And there are advantages, there are disadvantages. 6, 7. Now you can pull up at a drive-through restaurant, they throw food in your car, and you pay with your phone. Seriously? Okay, I'm going back to the regular cross of my legs. Good. Gonna drop my chin down, take my head around. 1. See, if you're brand new, you can do this. You could be sitting in a chair. There is great power in doing whatever you can. For those that try, more is given. For those who don't try at all, even their ability to do what they're already doing is taken away. Harsh, but true. 6, 7, 8. And the heads go the other way. 1. By the way, I'm not kidding about a lot of restorative yoga tonight, so I hope you're in the mood. 6, 7, 8. Good. Now relax your head down for 20 seconds. Earlier today, my voice wasn't even working at all, so I don't want to strain my voice. Close your eyes. Good. Then take your hands out to the side, bend your wrists like this so you're Samson pushing the pillars down, except do it down here in your hips and push and smush into the hip leg juncture right down here. It'll stretch your wrists. It'll release some tension in the hips. It'll get some bodily movement, fluid movement, release your shoulders, bunch of good stuff. It's smooth, it's rhythmical. Good. Now I'm going to try to do a simultaneous shoulder shrug. I'm going to push down, crest my arms over the top. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Flex your wrists the other way. That's called palmar flexion. Hands upside down, palms facing you. Just push and smush. If you have really sore, crabby wrists, if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, gentle. After a while, your wrists will open up and your forearms, fingers, joints, your itises and isms will dissipate to some degree. Are you saying that yoga heals you? It's exactly what I'm saying. Shoulders back up, over, forward, around, and down. I have friends in 70s, 80s, and 90s. A very nice mid-90-year-old woman comes to my meditation class, and you would not guess her to be older than 65 years old. 5. Carolyn from Cucamonga. 7, 8. Good. Now, admittedly, my favorite, rolling out my paws. This is for maws and paws. Other way. 1, 5, 6. 6 hours with 3 different teachers, tutors today to make sure that I pass my classes. I did not go to school for 5 months to not pass. Ups and downs. Hi, how you doings? Hello, better grades. People that study get better grades. Wish I would have known that earlier in life, but better late than never. Cup your hands at your heart. Be holy, sacred, and reverent for a moment. Every human generation, some miscreants think that they can skip morality, ethics, character, and hard work, and they usually learn the hard way. Some things will never change, nor should they. Okay, then we're just going to do the feet and then it's right into restorative. So tonight, as simple as it gets, left leg out, right ankle over, a one, two, three, four, six, seven, eight, one, two, three, five, six, seven, eight. Good job. Boy, it doesn't get any more simple than this, but on these cold, dark December days, if of course you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I have a lot of friends south of the equator. I hope you're enjoying summer, but those of us stuck up here in the great north, other way with your foot, we get cold and dark and foggy and freezing, so we're going to keep our joints going. 6, 7, 8, feet together. Just wag your knees out a couple of times. Great way to reduce tension. I'm going to lean down into my hips and my groins a little bit. Again, we're not comparing ourselves to the really flexible people who can sit on top of their feet. That's a whole nother echelon of yoga. And if that's your karma to do that kind of thing, that's great. 99.9% of us, this kind of yoga is what's indicated. Good, then we'll conclude joint juice with a simple twist. I know 100 different twists. This is a timeout. That's better. This is a good all-purpose one. Right knee over your left ankle folds under. I call this sitting ladylike. Stretch your arms up, hands behind your head, sort of a pin-up posture, Betty Grable, and turn to the right. If you can't get in this position, don't worry, just mimic this stuff. But the main thing is do what you can and you'll get more ability. Some people don't want to do anything because they can't do enough, but not only does that not help, you even lose that capacity. So don't. Stay active. Inhale. On exhale, I'm just going to bring my arms down here to the right. They're going to help me twist a little more. Do I know stronger twists than this? I know things that have been kept secret for thousands of years, but this is fine. Most of my other mid-60 guy friends, they can't even sit on the floor anymore. So you're way ahead of the game. Unless, of course, they do yoga. Good, now I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to unwind myself. Oh, I can hardly wait for restorative yoga. Just going to wag my legs out a couple of times, let out some tension. I think if I hadn't done yoga consistently for the last many decades, maybe I wouldn't be alive or I'd just be in not good shape. So yoga is a great blessing. Left knee comes over, folds over the top, not just physically, but mentally, of course. Now I use my right ankle as a twisty tie. Take my arms up, hands behind my head. I'm gonna have a little twist to the left. Close your eyes, stop thinking. We've cleverly transitioned from joint juice into a little yin yoga. Yin just means spending a few moments in a more accommodating pose, but we can spend some time. If you're in a hurry when you're doing yoga, you're not doing yoga. Yoga is the art of not being in a hurry and rushing to the future moment that's supposed to be better than this one. Inhale. Going to take my arms up. I release them down. They help me to turn just a little more to the left. Inhale here. Well, come on out. Okay, now let the restorative begin. If you didn't want to do restorative tonight, all I can say is I'm sorry, but I think you probably need it. Anyway, back where I used to live, I used to have this giant recliner and I would use it for putting my legs up on, but I it's over there and I can't get it over here. So, what's this? What's that, Greg? That is my piano bench. So this could be an ottoman, it could be the couch, it could be four pillows stacked up on top of each other, it could be a chair, just something, that big. What am I going to do? Well, that's a good question. After I put my calves up on top of this, I'm going to take a cushion, a pillow, or a blanket and slide it under my hiney. It looks a lot like this. This is restorative yoga. Now, this is pretty tall. See how my buns are barely come down? So I quell that by lifting my buns. Now, the blanket bolster pillow goes from my belt down. It doesn't go underneath my kidneys. That will make you miserable. I want, by having it from the belt line down, your guts and your kidneys relax. This, my friends, is the pose. It's restorative yoga. This might last 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but I need it. I need to heal. I need to restore. I need to regenerate. So give yourself permission to heal. And I admit I talk a lot, but to save my voice, I'm going to be quiet. Relax your jaw. This is tied for first of all my restorative poses because I can really let go. If you're just tuning in on YouTube, just wandering by, what on earth is this? It's a guy that passed out while he was playing the piano. No, it's actually restorative yoga. There's a natural directing of the breath down toward the belly button. You can fall asleep if you want. After a while, your body really starts to mold and shape itself into the shape we create, like a cat sleeping over the side of the couch. 3 more happy minutes. Let all of your cells and molecules put their PJs on. Good job. So start to breathe back toward your body. That was a long time, wasn't it? It's good. I could easily go 20 more minutes. Okay, wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe your nose. Good. I'm going to bring my feet in. Going to carefully roll to the most convenient side, in this case, this way. Going to rest on my side for a moment. This is a restorative pose called fetal position. It's also called sleeping. Okay, and I'm keeping my word on the restorative tonight, you guys. So we made it out. Now, as my piano teacher, the very formal, strict British woman says, always put your stuff away. I should have found her when I was 4 years old. I'd be a beast at this point. What's better, a British, a Russian, or a German piano teacher? Leave a comment. Now, you probably get something from each. All right, now, restorative twist. I've been thinking about this pose, and I've been thinking for a couple of months now I should sew it from a different angle just to make sure everybody gets it. But over here on my right side goes a bolster is best. You can get these anywhere on the Amazon, or a couple blankets. Like 2 of these blankets is the same as a bolster. It's an equivalency. Then, do you note that I'm sitting toward? Oh, hi, Looney. Hi, Guy. Looney thinks it's too cold outside. Come say hi to everybody. You're part of the team. He's afraid he's going to get captured. Yep. Now, I'm putting my right hand on the bolster. Do you see that? My knees are pointed toward you. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to lean to my right and slide my knees over to the left. I cross my ankles. I think I should be showing this pose this way for years now. Then I pull the bolster into the side of my hip. I push into both hands, and I turn to the right to face my piano and all the scales that I need to play tonight. Now that I've turned to my right, I put my right hand down over on the right side. I turn my chest down, and for restorative yoga, we come to our left ear. So this might be the best that I've ever explained it. And it's restorative twist, 4 minutes on each side. If you don't like restorative yoga, then you should change your mind. If you're not patient enough to do this, then you really need to do this. Elbows out wide. Again, these poses might be sticky at the start, but your body learns to open up and release. So many good physiological benefits. I mean, that's proven. Lowers your blood pressure, slows down your respiration, changes your breathing patterns, releases endogenous morphines. Oh, boy, I just yawned. That's a good thing. Pose starts now. Now, if you're a pretty bendy bear, sometimes when I'm feeling it, halfway in, I'll come up and I'll take my torso a little more over to the right, twist my spine a little more. And if it's feeling good, I'll come down to my left ear. It's just stronger, but it's up to you. Okay, if you did go to your left ear, come back over to your right ear. If you're already on your right ear, you're fine. But then pull your hands into your chest. Come out slow as molasses. That makes sense in December. The sap is moving a little slower. Good. Now, you know what's good news? The other side of this. So these babies swing back around to the front, and we're getting so facile and clever in our body, our legs just end up crossed again. I'm facing you, you're facing me. Then, in my new way of describing this pose, this goes over here. On my left side, it's angled out perpendicularly. My left hand can go pat, pat, butter pat. I like that. Now, this is what I couldn't really show before, but as I lean to my left, I just take my legs out. They naturally swing to my right, left ankle over my right ankle. And for a moment, I sit up, and there's this cool movement where I push in with my left hand, stretches the entire side of my body. Really good. Both hands on the bolster. I turn to my left, obviously. I turn a little more. Now you can just come to, if you're tight as a boiled ostrich, you could just come down to your left ear. Or you can put your left hand further over on the left, aim your belly button down, then your sternum, then your chest, and everybody should start on their left ear. Elbows go out wide, and then we just melt like butter on a Phoenix sidewalk. This is really good for you. You got to slow down sometimes. Your breath will start slow and choppy and chunky, and it'll become smooth and rhythmic and deep. Now, for some of my bendier bears, this is optional, like some of my Romanian gymnasts. You could push out, move your bolster slightly more to the left, and you could come down to your right ear, but I'm leaving that up to personal preference tonight. Okay, if you did go to your right ear, come back over to your left ear. That's just the beginning of the unwinding process. No rush. Okay, biggest inhale that you got. Exhale, let it all go. Bring your hands in. Smush out like you're coming out of some quicksand, slow sand. They should call it slow sand, shouldn't they? All right. Your legs kind of fall back into place. I am loving this class tonight, and so are the millions around the world watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, Looney and I, we ask you straightforward, please help us out. We really appreciate it. Okay, we just have one more pose. I wasn't kidding. I'm not going manic with a bunch of stuff tonight. But what I am doing, this is my favorite of all the restorative poses. It's been voted the most popular one. And you got to have a box, but 2 blocks I think is best. If you don't have blocks and you want to do yoga, why don't you just get some blocks? Maybe I should sell them. All right, now, this is the famous one where you just incline a pillow or on your couch, the biggest cushion on the back. I like to customize it because I'm picky. I'm the pickiest person you ever met. Now, oh, I'm going to roll up one blanket that's going to go underneath you'll see what happens in a moment. That goes underneath my right knee. This goes underneath my left knee. Now, now what? You have to orient yourself properly, right? So you go from disoriented to being reoriented. So my buns slide back into this. These go underneath my legs. And I lean back. Now, I have a very exposed tailbone. It's just my vestigial tail's not that vestigial. So anyway, I like to pull these blankets in. Then I gently lift my butt a little bit. And then I move the blankets around so my tailbone is hovering above the floor. My legs are nicely supported. In this pose, my elbows can fit on the floor, palms up, shoulders release, back is supported. My neck is on this little blanket on top of the bolster. My feet are angled out to the side. Life is good. And this will be our concluding pose, and we'll probably do it for 7 or 8 minutes because I intend that not only myself, but everybody in the world falls asleep now. Okay? Give yourself the night off. Next practice, we'll do a bunch of sit-ups and push-ups and throw-ups. Not tonight. Your breath will naturally move from its typical place in your chest, where most people breathe. It will naturally subside down to your belly button. This will stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which just means rest, relax, response. By the way, if groins from groins out to knees is really tight. Just use a bigger bulk underneath your legs. You can fall asleep if you want. It's nice to have a YouTube channel you can fall asleep to. 2 more minutes. Soak it up. Our ancestors didn't get to relax very much. There were saber-tooths and dinosaurs to run from. So it's a great gift when we can let our nervous systems subside from fear, panic, worry, running into rest, feeding, breathing, relaxing, restoring. Okay, let's stretch our legs out. Pool lounge chair pose. Same pose from the waistband up. Pool lounge chair from the legs down. Okay, we always wiggle our fingers and toes and circulate feel good through our body. It's a great habit. Okay, and then we conclude by helping ourselves out nice and slow. We've done some very good relaxing and restoring tonight. And as always, we conclude seated, humble, eyes closed, axis mundi, sanctum sanctorum. Drop our chin, close our eyes. If you go deep into you, and I go deep into me, we come to the same place together. That place is Sat Chit Ananda. Altogether we say, Namaste. Well, if you got in early, you heard that it's finals week at school for me because I took up music later in life and I'm taking music classes and it's been a beast, but I think I'm going to pass. Tomorrow's the last day. Wish me luck. Thank you, YouTubers around the world, and I really appreciate you liking and subscribing. It really helps me also. I love it when you leave comments. What are you learning later in life? Even though I've been doing yoga for 50 years, I think we should always be branching out into new experiences, new endeavors, things that are very confusing, oftentimes uncomfortable. But if we stick through it and we learn how to learn, we can always learn beautiful new patterns of movement. And those are great. That's a great yoga. Anyway, I'll see you friends next time.